question I often get asked from my mentees is on the lines of, Tim, how did you get about getting the results that you've got in your life at the rate that most people can't get? Well, I found out that it comes down to these three things. This is what success insiders out there are able to constantly do, and that's why they're able to achieve the results that the majority of people struggle to achieve. Because the biggest mistake that you can make right now is to assume practice is what equals mastery. I'm sure you've heard of the 10,000 hour rule. I'm here to question that, and I'm actually going to say that it's flawed. I believe 10,000 hour rules is flawed. Why? Because most people out there, when they're practicing, they're repeating the same mistakes over and over again. So the mindset you've got to adopt is not so much the practice mindset, it's what's called a purposeful practice mindset. It's whenever you're looking to master a skill, you have to do it purposefully. You have to know exactly what you're doing and why you are doing that. And this brings us closer to what I'll be covering today. So be sure to have your pen and the notepad in front of you. There's going to be a lot of stuff I'll be covering right now. And most importantly, my friend, remember, it's not about information, it's all about application of knowledge. So it's all about taking action, okay? So be sure to take action after today's video. The first point is specific goals, right? Specific goals, let me just write this down. Specific goals is the first point. Now, what do I mean by specific goals? Most people out there who are just practicing, like I said, are like a hamster on a wheel, getting nowhere. High achievers, whenever they're practicing something, for example, maybe you're looking to master, I don't know, the art of sprinting. Maybe you want to go to the Olympics one day. Well, high achievers have a specific goal for that specific session. They will focus with a laser pinpoint accuracy. They will focus on a specific thing, the outcome they're looking to get from that training session. So you too have to have a very specific goal. And for example, if right now you're thinking, but Tim, my goal is very big, it's very important that you chunk it down small and you break it down into bite-sized sessions, whereby when you're practicing for 1 hour, whatever skill you're looking to master, you have a laser pinpoint accuracy in regards to what you're precisely practicing and why you're practicing what you're going to practice. It's very important with purposeful practice that you focus whenever you're practicing like this. It's very, very important. So make sure you have a specific goal, okay, for each and every session moving forwards. Going on to number 2 is to always, okay, this is very, very important if you want to become a master at any skill. In fact, I truly believe success leaves clues, as the great saying goes. If you look at the ones who truly make it in life, the likes of, for example, in the entrepreneur world, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, those legends out there, they all take on board the advice from the second point, which is feedback. And this is the biggest difference between those who just practice, repeat the same mistakes, and those who actually achieve something, and at an actual crazy rate as well. Because they're receiving feedback. You will not find a single successful person who hasn't made it big without a mentor by their side. Because think about it, if you don't have feedback, okay, in regards to what you're actually doing, it's very hard to improve yourself. Because why? It's very hard to see which area you need to improve in when you're currently at the vantage point you're currently at. With your model of the world, your belief systems, you're currently just seeing the world because, remember, my friend, everybody stars in a movie called Their Life, right? And they are the main actor. Everybody is a side cast. It's very, very hard sometimes, and I'm sure some of you may disagree, but it's hard sometimes to point out the flaws, the areas you need to improve in. And even if you can point out the flaws or the areas you need to improve in, sometimes you miss something. Why? Because you're just seeing your world, your life from your eyes. So it's very important to have a mentor or coach that's giving you feedback as they're coming from a different vantage point. They've mastered the skill, thus they can really show you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right. For example, when I signed up to a new gym recently, I told the personal trainer what I was looking to master. And he basically showed me the special move, okay, and he was picking up this weight, and I just watched him very carefully how he did it. And then I basically picked up the weight exactly like him, and I modeled exactly what he was doing, okay? Now, what was very, very interesting is after I did it, he said, Tim, no, you did it wrong. And I was like, really? I thought I did it right? Because again, it's about you seeing the world from your vantage point. You always assume it looks the same. But from a world of, let's say, a master, they got a unique vantage point. They can really see what or which mistakes you're making. And he said, no, Tim, you need to slightly shift your feet to the right a little bit more, and then that's it. You got to lift it up. It's got to be close to your shins. And then I watched him very carefully, and he showed me the little millimeter differences, but I could feel it. It felt different after I made those slight adjustments. Now, had I been on my own, I would have never spotted that. This is why feedback is vital if you want to learn or master any skill. Every skill that I've looked to master in my life, for example, public speaking. 8 months ago, I was not able to do public speaking. Today, I literally travel around the world. I'm an international speaker. I've had somebody who's given me feedback in regards to my body language, tonality, the rate I speak.
That Korean girl in the middle, she eats food on webcam, makes 9K a month. People like to learn how to do that.
The rate I basically show emotion. Now, I got the feedback, thus I was able to improve. So it's very vital that you get feedback in regards to what you're looking to improve in. Does that make sense? Absolutely amazing. So let's go on to the final point. The final point is this. The final point is comfort zone. Now, comfort zone, what you're going to realize, sounds very obvious, but not many people really do the obvious. That's the fact. You got to make sure if you're looking to master a skill, you step out of your comfort zone every single time. Because if you don't get out of your comfort zone, it's very hard to learn something new. If you're constantly repeating the same thing over and over again, that's what Einstein called insanity. So you have to make sure each and every session, you're pushing yourself a little bit further until you are out of your comfort zone. For example, when I was practicing public speaking for the first time, we was doing it in a controlled environment. Everybody else was practicing public speaking. But eventually I had to get myself onto a stage in front of people I didn't actually know. That was totally out of my comfort zone. And that was in front of around 50 people. And then I went to 100 people, 200 people, 300 people, constantly pushing myself out of my comfort zone because that just basically pushes me and it helps me to grow and master any skill. So you have to make sure that you do the same in your life moving forwards. Those are the three steps, okay? So specific goals. You gotta make sure you chunk down your big goal into small increment goals moving forwards. For each and every session, you focus on improving whatever you're looking to improve. Number 2 is to get the feedback from a mentor or coach. Number 3 is to ensure you're stepping out of your comfort zone every single time. And this would help you to accelerate results and become a master at any skill moving forward. Okay, Insider, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to click that like button. And if you enjoy this new format, because normally I don't use flip charts, be sure to let me know in the comments box below. And be sure to share this video with your friends. It's all about contribution and giving at the end of the day. And without further ado, my friend, follow your heart and take action and go live the life you're born to live, my friend. See you on the next episode very soon.